A woman discovers something terrible in her new home. She senses a figure watching her from across the room. Realizing it might be a peeping Tom, the woman went to the window to see what the figure across the street looked like. But just then, the light was suddenly turned on. It turned out to be her boyfriend coming home from work. The woman didn't bother about it anymore. But late at night, she couldn't sleep after moving into her new apartment. So she woke up to look out the window. But what she didn't expect was, the figure on the other side was still looking at her. She felt an instant fear, as the woman pondered if the opposite side was a model. But her boyfriend told her to rest early. In order not to disturb her boyfriend's rest, she had no choice but to go to bed. The next day came. The woman is watching TV, but a murder case is playing on the TV. The scene of the murder was the building across the street. It was reported that the victim was a young woman. The murderer had brutally decapitated her. Seeing the victim's age was similar to her own, and remembering the perverted figure from last night, the woman became worried. She told her boyfriend that she was being spied on. Then she pointed to the other side's window, but the curtains were closed during the day. But her boyfriend thought she was overthinking it, so he reassured her not to be too sensitive. Hearing her boyfriend's reassurance, the woman also thought that maybe she was too sensitive. But the next day, when the woman was out shopping, she vaguely sensed that someone was following her. But when she turned around to check, the person behind her rushed up to her, but he was just passing by. After this series of events, the woman was ready to go to the movies to calm her nerves. But just halfway through the movie, she realized that someone was sitting behind her. There were plenty of empty seats around. Why was he sitting behind her? She didn't dare to turn around. She just glanced at the shoes of the person behind her. She realized that the person behind her was slowly approaching her. The woman was so scared that she quickly fled the movie theater. Then she went to a supermarket where there was a lot of traffic. Seeing the people around her, she felt a sense of security in her fearful heart. But while she was carefully selecting goods, she suddenly caught a glimpse of the shoes that appeared in the theater. As she tried to get a better look at the man suddenly turned his head. The woman didn't dare to look at the man. She panicked and wanted to leave. But while looking around for a way out, she realized that the man was also looking for her. The woman was scared. She knocked over a bottle of cucumber. The sound of breaking attracted the man's attention. In a moment of desperation, the woman had to sneak into the supermarket warehouse. Then she leaned over the door and looked through the glass to get a better look at the man. Suddenly she was interrupted by a man behind her. She was told that no outsiders were allowed in the warehouse. The woman had to leave quickly. When she got home, she was depressed. Her boyfriend was still talking about work. The depressed woman told him that she was being followed today, but the boyfriend thinks she's delusional. He even joked about it. He was going to sweeten the deal with his girlfriend, but the woman was so upset about what happened during the day. She's not interested at all. Looking at his girlfriend's serious face, the man proposed to go to the supermarket with her to watch the surveillance. He wants to see what kind of psychopathic stalker it really is. Then the two of them approached the staff of the supermarket, asked to see the surveillance video. He said his girlfriend was being watched. The guy agreed to the request. He then adjusted the video to the time when the woman entered the supermarket. The footage soon shows the woman breaking the can. She then flees into the warehouse in a panic. A man follows closely behind, but the boyfriend didn't think the man in the video was acting out of the ordinary, and told his girlfriend not to think too much about it. The woman had to use her cell phone to take a picture of her stalker's face, even though her boyfriend didn't trust her, but she always believed in her sixth sense. By the time the next morning, she watched the opposite side by the window. She wanted to make sure that the stalker from the supermarket was the figure across the street, but after a whole day of staring, she didn't see the stalker. The woman began to wonder if she was mistaken. While she was staring at the window across the street, suddenly there was a sharp knock on the door. The woman came to the door trembling.